In this lesson, we'll cover the main differences between the studios, studio etiquette, and what equipment you should expect to power on during your booking. All of the studios are all set up to work in the same way, so if you're working in the red studio, for example, you'll easily be able to transfer your knowledge to the blue or green studios. However, there are a couple of differences between the studios, which we'll go through now. Firstly, the broadcast mixing desk is the same model in all areas, but their channel strip count and configuration might be slightly different. We'll discuss this in later videos. Also, the amount of microphones and headphones in each studio is different. The red studio has 3 mics and headphones, the green studio has 5 of each, and the blue studio and monitoring area both have 1 of each. Finally, red and blue are the only studios that have telephone connectivity, so if you're using a phone contributor, make sure you use the red or blue studios. In terms of studio etiquette, unless you've been given prior permission, you must never enter a studio when you see the red on-air light illuminated outside. We also ask that you don't take any food or drink into the studios, unless it's a sports-topped water bottle, in which case leave it on the floor, next to the desk or walls and away from any cables. Next, zero the desk and any other gear before leaving. That means reset it ready for the next user, so pull all channel faders down and turn them off. Reset the gain and any other parameters back to their defaults. Neatly tidy away the headphones and close or log out of any of the apps or web pages on the PC. Finally, instead of saying leave the studio in the same state that you found it, we say leave the studio in a better state than you found it, which means that the studios should always be neat and tidy, and there's no excuse for leaving them in a mess. The radio studios are left fully operable at all times, which means that you don't need to worry about booting up any equipment before use. But if you do find anything that doesn't seem to be working, please report it to a technical specialist. If you're using the studio PCs, you should not log into your staff or student username or password. Instead, use the ones that you can see on screen. In this lesson, we've discussed the main differences between the studios, studio etiquette, and what equipment you should expect to power on during your booking. Next up, we'll learn how to adjust the volume of the headphones and speakers using the Sonifex S2 mixer's output channels.